video games are for nerds. But that doesn't mean we can't talk about them. That's why you're listening to The Week in Gaming, the only gaming podcast that breaks down the last 7 days and tears games apart from the inside. Ugh. So forget your worries, open your ears, and join Simon Miller and a co-host for the entertainment chatter you need. Also, screw Dark Souls.
Hello, welcome to The Week in Gaming. My name is Simon Miller, and you are about to listen to a video game podcast. Now, usually we do go live every Monday. However, given that it is arguably the biggest week in terms of the gaming calendar, because if you don't know, I don't know where you've been living, it has been E3 2018. I thought I'd leave it to a little bit later in the week, so we make sure that we've got all the announcements and all the hoo-ha is out the way, and we can actually sit down and dissect it. And I'm also very, very happy and very, very pleased to say that I do have a special guest with me today. He was very kind to support the podcast at patreon.com/Simon316. And we're going to chat about all things games. My man Sondre, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Simon.
Good.
Doing great.
That's what I like to hear, man.
Ready to drop some opinions on E3.
Hey, man, that is what I want. Because, I don't know, it's been a kind of... I mentioned this... I can't remember when I mentioned this. I mentioned this on some other podcast at some point. My thing with E3 is this. I think it's been a really, really good E3. I think the week has been great. I think if you're a fan of video games, there's been a lot to take in. However, me personally, and I mean completely on me, Simon Miller, the human being, it's kind of the first time where I've gone like, wow, there's all these incredible announcements. But really, I've now become the guy that wants new experiences. And as much as I understand sequels and the importance of that and marketing and business, and I don't mind at all, and I want to play a lot of what's come out, I'm not trying to be negative here, but I'm just saying personally, I would have enjoyed, much like Doom, right? When Doom came out a few years ago,
yes,
it was really exciting. And now I'm excited about the second Doom because I feel like it's a new start for that franchise. Whereas something like Fallout 76, which we'll talk about in a second, looks...
Yeah, we will.
Well, it looks great, man. It looks great. It looks really, really good. I think it would be fun to play, but it's just more Fallout. And I'm like, do I just want to play more Fallout? Maybe I don't. I don't know.
Yeah, my impression, I was sitting on the tram and like, okay, E3 this year. Has there been a lot of sequels? And I was starting to go through it, and there's a lot of sequels.
Yeah,
there is a lot of them. There's a lot of sequels, and there's a lot of new stuff as well. But most of the new stuff, I feel like I've seen it before.
Yeah, no, I
it's
totally
like there are some things that are cool, like I guess Death Stranding. I don't know, Postman readers. I don't know, that looks cool. But there is a lot of Yeah, we'll get into it.
Yeah, but I agree with you. I mean, you've mentioned Death Stranding, so let's just get into that. I mean, look, I think Hideo Kojima is a genius on some level. However, with that said, I watched that trailer or game, what you want to call it, and I was like, what the? I don't know what this game is. I have no idea what Death Stranding is. So I come away from E3 going, do I want to play it? I don't know.
I have no idea as well. And he tweeted earlier, like this trailer is going to answer some questions. What? What questions?
No, it didn't.
I think he lives on a different planet or something. Well, he's like, yeah.
I think you're right, but I think maybe that's part of his genius, for lack of a better term, that he is just living in a bubble world. And I think, it's all well and good to just say it's nonsense and write it off. However, I couldn't have come up with that. I couldn't have sat down and gone, I've come up with this idea. So you got to give him credit in that regard.
Yes, yeah. I'm only afraid of it because I don't know what it is. Basically, that's.
I mean, are you a Metal Gear Solid guy?
Yeah, I was until the last one. I still am. I love the third one. That's my complete favorite. Yeah, like Snake Eater is a wonderful game.
But Snake Eater to me is the amount of stuff you can do in Snake Eater and all the Easter eggs is ridiculous.
Yeah, and I remember picking up the remastered version and playing that again, and I was like, wow, this game hasn't aged at all.
Yeah, it hasn't.
More or less.
No, that's the thing. I mean, they did, because isn't it in the remastered version they changed the controls a bit, right? Yeah, because the controls
modernized it.
Yeah, exactly. Because the controls are a bit like, oh. But yeah, when they updated that, so yeah, I think Metal Gear is great, and I even like the ones that most people don't like. I think 2 is actually quite decent.
Oh, and, it is.
I really like 4. I know a lot of people don't like 4. I'm a big fan of Metal Gear Solid 4. I think it's great. I kind of agree with you about 5. 5 felt a little bit unfocused, I think would be
It didn't feel like a Metal Gear game.
Yeah, it felt like it was too influenced by open world nonsense.
And I don't have to watch a helicopter cutscene every time I want to do something.
So true. Yeah, but I mean, otherwise, I do like Hideo Kojima games, and I think that, the fact that Sony have basically given him the keys to the castle and said, "Do whatever you want."
They do. So
yeah, but if we're coming out the back of E3 and someone says to me, "Do you want to play Death Stranding?" My answer is, I have absolutely no idea. I have absolutely no idea because I don't know what it is.
That's true. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's like, it could be anything.
It could be. I mean, as we're talking about new games, because I've got one specifically, and we'll get into all the sequels and stuff as well. What was the one new game that was announced or revealed that you feel you warmed to the most, or at least the most excited for?
Oh, the new game, no sequel, nothing like that, right? Yeah. Wow. I want to be excited for Starfield. But I don't know what it is.
Indeed, but I know what you mean. I mean, the thing about Starfield for me is that I really hope that this is Bethesda's way of transitioning into a new gameplay model. Because again, Fallout amazing, Elder Scrolls amazing, but I'm done with it, and that's on me. That's on me. But yeah, I want.
They have like Fallout and Elder Scrolls they're very similar games.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We can say that, right? Yeah. To use it's similar. So I hope they like branch out now. Try something new. Be a little bit bold.
I think
be
so.
Crazy.
Yeah, but I think because my worry is, not my worry, but I don't want it to just be Elder Scrolls or Fallout in space.
No,
like that's what worries me. I won't play that. I just won't.
No. Exactly. It's like Skyrim with laser guns. I don't know.
And Skyrim kind of has laser guns. I mean,
we have magic, I guess.
No, yeah.
But I also liked. I'm sure we're going to talk about Assassin's Creed. I'm just going to mention this. Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I really like that. Not for the assassin part, but for the being a pirate part. Skull and Bones looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it does. Are you annoyed that it got delayed again?
Yes, I am. But you can't wait too long for something good. Right? It looks good. So yeah, I think maybe Skull and Bones.
Yeah,
maybe?
no, I think so. I think there's definitely something there, and I think even though Sea of Thieves came out, I don't think the pirate thing really boomed as much as a lot of people think was going to boom.
No.
So maybe they can be the start of that boom. I don't know. Maybe they can do that.
They just need sea shanties and have the whole pirate theme. Really build up on it. I think they can do well.
No, I think so too. I'm not a big Assassin's Creed fan, which we'll talk about in a second, but I liked all the pirate stuff in Assassin's Creed 4, like you did. So if they're going to make a whole game of that and take out the Assassin's Creed stuff, I'm all right with that. That sounds all right to me. That sounds all right to me, to say the least. Because the one I wanted to mention is Sucker Punch's new game, Ghosts of Tsushima, how you pronounce it. I thought that looked awesome. Like, I genuinely think that looked absolutely fantastic. I don't know what it is. It kind of reminded me of that damn Capcom game that I've now forgotten the name of, Ominusha. And I love Ominusha. I thought those games were great. And I watched that gameplay trailer, and it looked like it was going to take you on a bit of a ride. I mean, absolutely. I thought it was really good. I got, after I watched, that's one of the things I went out of my way to watch. So I don't know anything about this. But yeah, I actually think that looks excellent. And also, it's set during the Mongol invasion of Japan. And that just sounds great to me straight away. You're the last surviving samurai. There's an open world, blah, blah, blah. All these kind of things I just think it looked great.
It is a part of game or history that isn't, there isn't a lot of games like this set in that time era. Usually they have demons and dragons and then everything else.
Yeah, exactly.
This seems to at least have some basis in reality.
I think so. Cool. And they may go in that direction, but that's fine because as long as
that's fine. Yeah. As
long as the sort of the what do you call it? The main part is not that, then I'll be all right with it. But that was, of all the new games, that was that was one I really warmed to. And I think also the sword play looked awesome.
Yes.
If they can get, because when was the last time we had good sword play in a game? And I like good sword play in games, but I can't even remember.
Like really good?
Has it ever happened? Maybe it's never happened.
So. I don't think so.
Because that was meant to. What was that Wii game that everyone got excited about? Red Steel.
Oh yeah, Red Steel.
I thought that was rubbish.
that is like 10 years ago.
Yeah, and I hated it as well. I got so excited when I played. I was like, "This is rubbish. This isn't good. This isn't a good video game."
Guy, you were like a cowboy samurai, weren't you? You had like a gun and a sword.
It was so weird. Yeah. It was. And they had that Red Steel 2 on whatever it was. Just bad. Just not a good video game. But yeah, I thought that looked decent. Right, so what I thought we'd do is I've got a list of stuff here. And I think we'll just go through everything and talk about it. So yeah, we'll start with Fallout 76. And we already knew about this before because of everything that had been announced. Yep. And it is basically a hybrid of single and multiplayer. And you start as one of the first ever Vault Dwellers. It's out 14th of November. And obviously, the big thing here is that, it's basically like if you want to go live in the Fallout world. I don't want to call it an MMO. I don't think it's an MMO. But if you do want to go live in some, horrible nuclear wasteland, you can just build a house and you can chill out there. Now, the thing that worries me, and I understand this is the direction that technology goes, but apparently the world is 4 times the size of the previous game's map. That's too big. Open worlds are getting too crazy these days.
It is. And it's good to have a big world, but you have to fill it with something.
100%. Because that's my problem with jumping forward. That's why I don't like Just Cause. Just Cause.
Exactly. That's my point. Yes, I don't like Just Cause for that reason. It's not enough.
It feels empty, right? It just feels empty. And it's fun for like an hour when you can just walk around and take the mick. But then you're like, there's nothing else to do.
Yeah, like sending civilians into space and stuff. That's fun for a while. It's like... No, but that's like I think that Bethesda has gone a little bit overboard with like putting content in their world, especially with Fallout 3. There's something around every corner. Like there's always something there.
Yeah.
But I'm afraid now that they're gonna, I don't know, miss that mark as well. That there's too little in the world. The world feels too big, too empty.
Yeah.
And you have to, but I guess then it's part of the community maybe to fill that world up. But I know players and most of them aren't really nice, so I don't know how this will go.
Well,
it's
that's the issue, right? Is that as soon as you enter that world where you're sort of putting you're putting the emphasis on the community, it can go one of two ways, right? Because you want to sometimes people just want to exist in these worlds, but they can't because someone's like, nah, I'm just gonna screw you up constantly and just piss you off until you don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, it's like in kindergarten when you're like in the sand pit and you're like making things, and they're like, okay, we're gonna make this big thing. Like 10 guys come together and make this city, and then 2 are just like given nukes, so they like ruin everything, or take the good shovels. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see. I like it. I think I don't know.
Would you have preferred just another Fallout game, or do you think it's still too soon after Fallout 4, which only came out a few years ago?
Yes, and like in a perfect world, I would like Obsidian to make the next Fallout, but
that would be good. Yeah,
it would be good because Fallout New Vegas, even though it had major flaws, was like the best. It was really good. Well, I liked it.
I liked it too. I thought it was, and it felt like Fallout, but not Fallout, if that makes sense. And that's why I really liked it. Right, what's your opinion on Assassin's Creed? Let's just get straight into this.
I think Assassin's Creed is it's the most schizophrenic game series ever.
That's the best.
Is that an answer? Yeah,
that's good.
It has no personality anymore. It jumps here and there, and I don't know.
I agree.
I don't think it knows what it wants to be.
No.
So they try everything.
I totally agree. Because my problem with Assassin's Creed now is I just don't like the way it plays. And yet they keep announcing ancient Greece. And I go, I like ancient Greece or ancient Egypt.
Yeah.
I'm like it. But then I'm like, but I don't like Assassin's Creed. So it's a really high barrier to entry for me because I may enjoy walking around the environment, but I just know I'm not going to be enjoying what I'm doing.
Yes. That's it.
And the other thing we have to talk about as well is how mad everybody got that you could now choose your gender. And unfortunately, the internet exploded with that news going, I can't believe it. And it's like, oh my gosh.
I guess we have to talk about it, don't we?
Well, you have to mention how stupid these people are. Like, and also, people were getting mad that you can be homosexual. Dudes, you can be homosexual in real life. Like, what's wrong with these people? Are crazy.
What are you saying? Can you?
I know.
What is this? What is this nonsense?
I think in a game like Assassin's Creed, choice should be everything. That should be the whole... It's an RPG, for goodness sakes, essentially. So, you should... I know it's more of an adventure game, but it has RPG elements, and you should be able to give that kind of choice. You want to be a bloke? Awesome. You want to be a girl? Awesome. You want to go be gay? Go be gay. Like, it makes no difference. If you don't want to be gay, don't be gay. It's like...
Exactly.
I don't get it. I don't get it. My real problem with Assassin's Creed is that it's shite. That's what annoys me.
And like the whole thing, like the story is like you're you're not time traveling. You're like in this simulation, and it's so stupid. And it's Templars and assassins, and I don't even know.
I don't even know what's going on with the whole anima stuff now.
Golden. It's too much to take in. Yeah, but there are a lot of stupid people who get angry about everything.
Yeah, that's true. I don't get it. It blows my mind.
And I don't care.
No, I don't care.
It's like, who cares? Yeah. To be honest, it's a game.
Exactly.
It's a game.
It's a video game. Like
it's a video game.
It's a video. It's like I'm not going to talk about it. We've done this. But that moves us on to Gears 5 as well.
Yes.
Now I love Gears of War. I love it. It's one of my favorite game franchises ever. My only worry with Gears 5 is much we've been talking about with Bethesda. If they don't do something different this time, I will still enjoy it because I like the third person shooting. I like the way it does it, but I don't know if I want to play through a Gears 5 which feels like Gears 4, mostly because I love Gears of War 1 to 3 because I like Delta Squad and I like the way it plays. Yeah. When you shift away from those characters, I think you also need to shift the gameplay just a little bit. And I know they've added some, and they do different things. But Gears 4 felt very similar to me. And if Gears 5 feels the same again, I think we are getting to that point now. For me, I know lots of people are excited about it. I think that's awesome. But I think for me, we're entering diminishing returns territory. And again, for me to say that, I love Gears.
Yes. So I know that you love Gears. I have followed you for a couple of years now, so I know that. What I hope for this, like, since they're changing out the characters, this could be like a reboot of the series. They do something cool and they kind of reboot it, because it's the 5th game. I mean, they should start to make Gears of War hype again.
Yeah, I totally agree.
They could do that. I mean, it's like War. It's the worst case we get another Gears of War, and it's like that's okay, but. Yeah, it's like you say, diminishing returns.
Yeah, it just is. And look, they may surprise me. I don't know.
Yeah.
But when I watched it, I was like, okay, that's cool. I mean, we got a lot to learn about it, right? We got a lot to learn, but I don't know. Right now, I'm going to sit on the fence. I'm not going to throw my eggs into one basket.
Let's sit on the fence.
Indeed. Spider-Man. Tell me what before I talk about it. Tell me what you think about Spider-Man.
Wow, like the last time I played a Spider-Man game was on the PS2.
Spider-Man 2, right?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. And great game.
It was really good, and like the swinging around the city and fighting and the boss fights, everything was really, really tight. And it looks like this is also pretty tight, and it looks really fun.
It does.
Like there aren't many good superhero games. Let's be honest.
No, there's not. A lot of them are terrible. Yeah,
they are terrible. So we need this. And it seems like they're heading in the right direction. They're gonna make something that's fun, something that's cool, and not like movie superhero rip-off thing, which you usually do.
I agree, and I think that the real big thing is that with the Marvel universe so successful at the moment, the fact that we've said this before, but the fact that Sony can claim this as an exclusive, I think is insane. If this can get the same kind of buzz that the Rocksteady Batman games do.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And it really does. Like when I was watching the combat on the trailer, because I don't even like Spider-Man. I think he's fine, but I'm not like a big Spider-Man nut or anything. But some of the combat looks really good. Like when you can kind of combo moves by swinging through people's legs, and then you pop up from behind them, and obviously going in and out of the cutscenes with the gameplay. I don't know. Yeah. It just looks. It looks fast. It looks smooth. It looks sleek. It looks like they've got all of Spider-Man's nonsense in there. Yeah, yes. I think there's something to this game. I think this could be a real. I'm not going to say a surprise because it's Spider-Man, obviously, but I think it could be bigger than people even think it's going to be if it comes out to sort of good word of mouth and rave reviews.
Yeah, and as you said, I think they captured the persona of Spider-Man very well in the combat and how he moves and acts, and that's part of it. I mean, if you're a really big Spider-Man fan, that's going to drag you in. Like, you can see that this is Spider-Man.
Exactly. Because that's the best thing about the Batman games, is that you feel like Batman.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Which is why I always bring up the argument, and then people go, well, those games wouldn't be very good if Batman wasn't in it. And I'm like, but he's in it. He's in it. Yes. So it's an irrelevant argument. Like the whole point is they've taken the Batman character as the most important element, and they've built around that. And that's why it's so successful. And if they can do that again with Spider-Man and just have it doesn't even have to be a great video game, just a fun video game, I think a lot of people will like this a lot.
I think so too. Yeah, I agree.
Anthem is the next game we'll move on to. Now, when BioWare have lost their way for me. I know I sound really negative. I'm not saying it at all. People love Anthem. That's awesome. But
do they?
I think a lot of people like BioWare. Maybe at least.
I thought you said Anthem.
I probably did. I say stupid stuff all the time, but a lot of people like BioWare. That's great. But
yes,
I didn't like Dragon Age, whatever it was called, that last one. Inquisition. I didn't like it, and I love the first Dragon Age game.
Me too.
And I didn't like Mass Effect Andromeda. I didn't like either of them.
Didn't even play it, so.
Well, and that kind of sums it up, right? I played it more out of intrigue rather than want. So my thing with Anthem is right now, even with everything that I've seen and all the stuff they've released, it just looks like generic video game 202 at the moment. It just looks like I've seen it 1,000 times before. Like, it's not doing anything. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I can't put my finger on why it's not appealing to me. And it's certainly, to me, it's a very make or break game for Bungie. But yeah, I don't know.
BioWare?
What did I say? Bungie.
Bungie, yeah.
Idiot. But I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about it. I mean, this is the second year in a row that EA have focused on it quite heavily at E3. Yeah. I mean, what do you think about it? What's your take?
It's nothing special.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't pop out. It's not like I saw the first trailer for Mass Effect. The very, very first trailer.
Yeah.
And that was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
This is like the space opera I've been looking for. This is like really cool.
Yeah.
And now Anthem. Okay.
Yeah.
There's mechs, I guess.
And
and they can fly and talk to each other.
And I also don't know what, like you say, when you looked at Mass Effect, there was this really cool thing about, you're going to be able to do this and you're going to be able to do that and you're going to go on this story. I don't really know what the theme is with Anthem, other than, it's a co-op shooting game with loot. It's like...
Yeah, I got... And this is... I'm not going to use this as a good comparison. I got a Monster Hunter vibe from it.
Mean. I do know.
You get this mission because you're like a mercenary or something. You go out and you kill something, and you go back and you fix your stuff, and you get a new mission, and you go back. Kind of like that. This hub world quest thing. Yeah, I don't know.
No, I just think, given that EA are treating it like they're, oh my gosh, Anthem's coming, it's not doing anything for me. It's really not. It feels flat. And I don't really know why. Look, if you are pumped for it, that's awesome too. Like, I've got nothing against that. Beyond Good and Evil 2, did you play the first one?
Yes, but that's a long time ago.
Yeah, exactly.
The first one came out, that was back in 2003.
Or something like that?
2003.
Yeah, I played it at university. That's how old I am.
Yeah, look at that.
Now, look, I've heard nothing but good stuff about this. The people that I know that have seen it are like, oh my gosh, it's amazing.
Yep.
But what I will say is that this is not the Beyond Good and Evil that I remember.
No, it's not.
This is very serious and dark and mature, and that could be a great direction to take it in. But I think one of my favourite things about Beyond Good and Evil was how cutesy it was.
Yeah,
with its taking pictures and its silly boats and its silly enemies, and that may have this. Yeah. They may be focusing on a different angle. But I don't know. It's another one where I looked at it, I was like, okay, cool, but nah. I sound so negative. I don't mean to be. That's just how I felt, though.
Yeah, I have good hopes for it. I think because I think with the more darker tone, maybe this is just me theorizing. They think, okay, the guys and girls that played Beyond Good and Evil have grown up now. Maybe they want a darker story, more mature story. Yeah, we want to cater to that audience.
Fair play.
I don't know.
No, I think it's a great shout, right? Because that's the audience. You're tapping into the audience that wants this game. And don't get me wrong. I've heard nothing but good things. Apparently, it's absolutely amazing. So yeah, I won't say too much. It just surprises me. The aesthetic surprises me. I think you could have called this whatever you wanted. I don't think anybody thinks this is Beyond Good and Evil 2 just by looking at it. So.
I agree on that, but it looks really good.
Do you think?
I like the aesthetics. It's cool.
It definitely looks cool. Nice. Do you think it may be being held off for next gen consoles?
Oh, that's a good question. When are we getting next gen consoles?
I would say 2020. 2020 is my guess.
Well, they might do it because they haven't showed much of it, so maybe they do. Maybe they're waiting. 2020. That's only 1.5 years away.
Yeah, yeah. As a launch game for all of those things, I think that could be amazing. I think that could cement that franchise as something very special indeed.
I could get behind that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
Last of Us Part 2. What were your opinions on the original?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, me too.
I loved it. Played the DLC as well. Oh, it was really good. But if you look at it mechanically, it's not really a good game.
Yeah, I
Like,
think that's fair. Yeah.
It's clunky, and like the combat, it's not good, and like all that. But everything else, the atmosphere, the story, the voice acting, the music, it's like it's Oscar material.
Yeah.
It's so good. So yeah, I expect a really good story, and like more of the same gameplay maybe. But I expect a really good story that kind of drags you in and pulls at your heartstrings and does everything. Yeah.
No, I it's one of those things where I never felt like, I don't care that we've got a sequel, but I never felt like we needed a sequel.
No,
like,
that's
like the first one is so perfect to me, it could have just existed. However, it's a great world, it's a great atmosphere, the characters are great. I think getting to play as Ellie will be very interesting, especially because I'm sure there'll be some kind of backstory with Joel or something like that. But like you said, the overall package of The Last of Us is just so fantastic that getting another one is no bad thing whatsoever. And like you said, what if they can rectify the gameplay? And I agree with you. I do think it feels a bit clunky. But imagine they can, imagine they can sort that out.
Yeah, I could tighten it up a bit.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then what a video game it will be. So
yeah,
Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, not really my thing. It's coming to the Switch this year. Are you a Super Smash Brothers fan?
I was when I was studying. I played a lot of Super Smash. I've fallen off now.
Will you go back?
I don't know. I'm like, I like to play it with like buddies, have a couple of beers, just play it. So maybe I get it just for that.
Yeah,
because it's a good party game if people aren't too competitive.
My thing was I never really understood it. I never really understood the mechanics are so weird.
It's chaos in a kind of a system, I guess.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
What
kind of people got to kill me for saying this, but
they
it's
won't.
chaos.
Nah, they won't. What are your feelings on the Nintendo Switch?
They have some really good games. They have some.
Yeah.
I say this. That's the reason for having it. There's some good games, but it's a great console. Like, I really love it. I can bring it to work, have it on the train, have it on the toilet, everywhere. It's like the future. But I think they need like more. I don't know. Not AAA games necessarily, but games with a little bit of punch to like get the hype up.
Yeah.
Zelda was good. I don't think it was that like as good as everyone.
Yeah, I agree.
thought it was. It was a good game, but it wasn't like this new Messiah. So I'm playing the new Donkey Kong now. I like that. That's good.
That's the what's it called?
Yes,
I know which one you mean. It's good. Yeah, no, I like the Donkey Kong games. I think the Donkey Kongs are really fun. Sometimes way too hard and driving me nuts, but yeah. I think
it's good. It's good music. But yeah, I feel like the Switch, they have to do something, I think, to like keep up. And like the Mario games are good, but they can't only survive on Mario.
Well,
Donkey Kong.
Maybe you say that they somehow
I say it, and I was like, I guess they have. Yeah, that's true. How are they doing it?
I don't know.
How are they doing it?
Who knows, man? Who knows? Did you have you played Mario Tennis at all?
Yes, I have.
It's so good. I love it. I think that. Oh man, it's such a good game. Such a good game.
Yeah. Okay, those are good. Those are fun. That's like social games.
Yeah, and I love those. They're my favourites. Right, Kingdom Hearts 3. I shouldn't really talk about this. I've never played I have played a bit of a Kingdom Hearts game, but I'm no authority to talk about it. Have you ever played them, or do you just zoom past this one?
I don't feel like I can talk about it either. The last one I played was the first one.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago, but like I guess I can't really talk about them, to be honest. I don't know enough about them anymore. No. It's like they're bringing everyone from every single universe known to man together, right? Like they have guys from Pirates of the Caribbean in this one, and everything.
Yeah, Frozen's in there.
Yeah, Frozen.
Everyone loves Frozen.
Donald Duck. Yeah, everyone loves Frozen. And so it's like this. Yeah. But it seems that people are excited for it.
Yeah. Oh man, I mean, it's been 14 years in terms of the actual proper games and not all the weird spin-offs. So, yeah, I mean, I think people are crazy.
They have like Final Fantasy characters in it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, your main guy is Sora, I think, from Final Fantasy. And then,
look at that.
Yeah.
So he has spiky hair, right?
Yeah, like all Japanese JRPG characters.
Yep.
And obviously, at the end of Microsoft conference, we also got to see Cyberpunk 2077.
Yes.
Now, again, there's a backstage, a behind closed doors demo that you can watch if you're at E3. Obviously, me and Sondre haven't seen it, but people are going nuts about it and saying it's the greatest thing ever. Now, I like CD Projekt Red, but I'm not the biggest Witcher fan, and I think Cyberpunk, it looks good, but it's not necessarily something that, I get super excited about. But please tell me otherwise, because like I say, everybody else loves it. Everyone's going crazy.
Yeah. Like, I'm a pretty big Witcher fan. Like, pretty big.
Yeah.
The Witcher, like Wild Hunt?
Yeah.
Probably one of my favorite games.
Well, a lot of people say it, man. A lot of people say it's one of the best games ever,
Yeah. And the second one is also one of my favorites. So I have a lot of faith in CD Projekt Red.
How do you feel about it being first person?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah.
Fair enough, mate.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. First person's fun.
Isn't
it?
Yeah, I think so. I think so, man. Yeah, I think people like
so, I don't see a problem with that. No, not at all. And they have they're good at what they do. I'm not familiar with the whole Cyberpunk world because it's basically based on a tabletop game, I think. So but yeah, sure, it's cool. We don't have a lot of those games, that type of games. So yeah, I welcome it.
I know it's the first person, but would you want something that is like The Witcher, or do you want them to do something completely different?
I like Witcher is Witcher, and Cyberpunk is Cyberpunk. I don't want CD Projekt Red to become like Bethesda, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, dude, perfectly put, my friend.
Yeah.
Perfectly put. I couldn't agree with you anymore. Yep. Crackdown 3, I don't have much to say about it. It got delayed into February next year. Do you care?
No,
me
really.
neither. Right, good, move on. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, again, this was more like, we'd already seen a lot of this beforehand. Yep. I'll reiterate, I love the Tomb Raider games. I think they're amazing. I think they're such fun video games, and this one looks like a darker version of, of the other two that we've seen. But I mean, give me your take, man, basically.
Yeah, I like that. It's even darker. I remember like the start of the first in this series. She was like, "Oh, I killed someone. Oh, I have blood on my hands." Now she's just not giving a flying F.
Exactly.
She's like, yeah, I'm done. I've done this before. Yeah. Come at me.
It's a nice story.
Yeah, it's cool. Lara Croft is badass. Everything is cool about it. I'm looking forward to it.
I think I prefer these games to Uncharted. I don't know if I believe that, but sometimes I think
that's a very controversial thing to say. Yeah. So you should be careful.
I should be careful.
I'm not. That's not. No, but I think that in this world, Tomb Raider and Uncharted can live. Both of them can live.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I love both, but sometimes I play Tomb Raider, I'm like, they're just smashing it, man. They're just nailing it. I think it's awesome.
Most of it is like the gameplay is really good. It's tighter than in Uncharted.
That is true, but I don't know. Maybe it's the character, maybe it's the nostalgia. I don't know. But Shadow of the Tomb Raider, I think it's really good. September 14th as well, not that far away at all. We also March next year, we're getting The Division 2. It looked like The Division to me, but now it's in Washington and it's not snowing anymore. And I just don't like games like The Division. Nothing against The Division, but all those like Destiny Division games, they're just not for me. I don't. I like narrative driven stuff, and the narrative you kind of make for yourself. So yeah, it's not really for me.
I remember seeing the first trailer to the Division. I was like, oh, we get a squad-based tactical shooter set in a post-apocalyptic New York. I'm in. Yeah. But then it's like, no, this is a looter shooter.
I was like, oh man, looter shooter. I've never heard that before. That's good.
Yeah. And it's like, you give me guns, and I have to shoot this guy like 50 times before he die, and then he drops a gun that does a little bit more damage. What is this? It's like, it doesn't have to be realistic, but like, come on.
Yeah.
No, I can get it. Like, if you have a laser gun, then I don't like it. I think it's they had a great idea, but they should have used something else to make the Division.
Yeah, and I totally get. So go on, man.
Yeah, no, the backdrop is really good. Yeah. Like everything is really good, but gameplay and the way they made their game, no, doesn't suit me.
Yeah, I agree. And like I say, I know a lot of people love it, so I know why Ubisoft are doing it, and they've absolutely smashed that market. But it's just not a market that it just doesn't appeal. It just never has done. It's too open for me. I like something that's a bit more focused, as we've already mentioned.
And having like the Tom Clancy name on it, because usually when you think of Tom Clancy, you sometimes think of these heavy games, like they're sort of based on some realism, like Ghost Recon. Well, the last one didn't, but the old Ghost Recon and Rainbow Six games. And this, I mean, Tom Clancy would roll in his grave, and that's weird because he isn't dead. So yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah, I'm the same, but Rage 2 obviously got leaked just before E3. But we got to see a bit more of it at the thing. I think it looks okay,
Yes.
It looks like an over-the-top fun shit. It looks a bit like Mad Max.
Yeah.
I don't mind that at all.
I played the first one, and I really liked it. It was a bit too short.
Yeah, it was. It was very short,
like 4 or 5 hours, but it was fun.
Yeah, it was a bit of a tech demo.
Yeah, it actually was. And it seems like they're going even further over the top now. Sure, why not?
Yeah, no,
why not?
I like the aesthetic. I like the way it looks. It doesn't look like most shooters. And also, I know that Avalanche are involved, but id is making this as well. And to me, id can do. It can just do no wrong. Like
after they made like Doom. Oh, that's a good game.
I mean, as we're there as well. Like Doom. Doom Eternal? That's what it's called. I mean, my word. I hate doing games of show. It looks so good though. It looks so. I love Doom so much. Like,
yes, I do
man.
as well. It's What can you say? And that game took at least me with surprise. Like the Doom game came 2016, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It took me by surprise because I didn't expect that at all.
No,
I did not expect it. And it's so fun and it's so fast and it's like you feel like the Doom guy that's running around ripping demons apart. It's great fun.
Nail on the head. And that gameplay mechanic of just destroy, rinse, repeat. It never got old. Like it never ever got old. Like it was just it was so good. Such
a wonderful soundtrack.
Oh, it's brilliant. And again, easily my favorite. My favorite game that got announced. Super Mario Party also got revealed for Nintendo Switch coming out on the 5th of October. They're all right. They're all right. They're all right. They kind of do the same thing each and every time. But I think now that you can take the Switch with you, I think that gives it a real kind of reason to get it if you've never played it before. It is fun. Yeah. It's stupid, but it is fun.
It's fun with friends and enemies.
Yeah, even better with enemies.
Even better.
Then you can beat them. But yeah, I mean, it's fine. Wolfenstein Youngblood, which, I mean, I don't really know what this is. Like, go on, man.
It seems like more Wolfenstein, but like a spin-off thing. Maybe?
I think so. Yeah, but it's some kind of co-op game. I think. Like, I don't.
Think maybe.
Yeah, it's one of those things where they did it, and I was like, okay, I don't know if that's a new Wolfenstein game. I don't think it is because it can't come. We haven't even had the other one come out for Switch yet. It was just come out for Switch. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, well that seems a bit crazy. And there's these two people in it I don't recognize. But hey, look, a lot of people like Wolfenstein. This can be a cool little thing that they announce, and that's great. But yeah, I still don't really get what this is. And I've watched the trailer a few times. I was like, it doesn't tell me anything. Like I don't know what this is.
They're talking like French. Well, French English.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, that's
they're
true.
In Paris.
Yeah, I think it's 1980s Paris. It's set in.
Yeah.
So I mean, look, it'll be different. It'll be interesting. The two Wolfenstein reboots have been awesome. So it's just a surprise more than anything. Bethesda have got so many games now as well.
Yeah, they do. How do you have you played the first Wolfenstein games?
Yeah, I played both. Of them. I think my only problem with them from a nerd point of view is the tone to me feels all over the place.
Oh yeah, yes.
It's half serious, half ridiculous, and I'm like, what? Yeah. What do you want to be? And a lot of people don't mind that. I personally. I personally do, but that's just my opinion. But they are very good shooters, and they've got that old school. We're going to be really hard, and we don't give a shit if you don't like it.
Yeah, exactly. But I agree on that. They don't really know what tone they want to set. It's like, this is depressing, very serious, and then it's like fun, and you're killing Nazis, and Blazkowicz is angry. So it's all over the place, all over the spectrum. But yeah, so
I think it's
fun. They're good, and. Like, I played the old ones, like Return to Castle Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
Really old ones. And in those games it's much more like an occult like setting. Hitler is like doing like bringing back the dead and like that whole thing. And I was a little bit like, I was skeptical when they changed from that to like Hitler is this techno freak. but I really like what they've done. I really like, the mechs and like the armor and everything. It looks so cool. It looks like, even though they're Nazis, it looks cool.
Dude. It's got a cool aesthetic, man. Like, you can't argue that. I think that's intentional too. So no, there's nothing wrong with that.
It's like, they look badass.
I think it's cool. I think Bethesda have kind of smashed it at this E3. I think they got a really good. They got a really good lineup, because obviously they also teased Elder Scrolls 6.
Yes, they did,
which we know nothing about because it's not even. It's in pre-production at the moment, which means they've literally they've done a Nintendo and they've just released a logo, and that's pretty much it. Yeah. But people like that. I mean, it's probably not going to be out until 2020 or something like that. But hey,
it's going to be fun, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I just hope they do something different. I really hope they do something different.
Now they have remade Skyrim 15 times, so I guess it's time for Elder Scrolls 6. I mean, you can play Skyrim on anything. Yeah. It's like, wow, yeah. So, I'm looking forward to it.
I agree. Oh, yeah, me too. Forza Horizon 4 is also coming in October. I mean, that's it. That's all I got. They're good racing games, and I'm glad it's coming out.
It looks nice.
It does look nice. It does look nice. And dynamic weather and night-day cycles, all that kind of stuff. And a shared world. That's the other thing they were pimping hard, a shared online world for players to compete in, which I actually think I like in a racing game. I'm not a big fan of it in other genres, but in a racing game, I think that actually works really well. Like, the Crew 2 does it really well as well. So, yeah. Sure. Devil May Cry 5. I'm not a man to talk about this because I've never really played a Devil May Cry. Or at least I've never really understood that kind of genre. It's never been my genre. But you reacted there like you're quite excited.
That was a surprise.
Well, you didn't think they were going to make another one?
No. I didn't think so. I thought they were done. But so that was a surprise. I played the fourth game. That's I think that's 10 years ago. No, that's not that long ago. But yeah, I like them. They're fun. They're stupid. Yeah.
And this one,
I mean, they're edgy and they're all that.
And this one's got both Nero and Dante in, right?
Yeah.
Is that should people be excited about that? I mean, you tell me.
Yeah, like if you like Devil May Cry, you should be excited. It's like it's going to be a new Devil May Cry game, and yeah, sure, that's fun. It's you get a lot of hours of fun out of that. So yeah, you should definitely be excited. Sounds like I'm doing a sales pitch.
I like it, man. Keep doing it. Sell me on Halo Infinite, because I'm a Halo fan that's gone cold the last few years. So, and I tell you what, the thing I liked about this one is it looked a bit like Halo 1, which is my favorite Halo game.
Yeah, that's exactly why I liked it as well. This is back to basics. This is why I liked Halo. This is like back in the music and everything.
And I think that could work, because sometimes what's old is new again, right? So, in that sense, I am excited about it.
They were going like, because I liked the first ones, and then suddenly it's like, oh, we're gonna be like Call of Duty. You can use iron sights, and you can sprint, and you have all these abilities. And it's like, no, I don't want that. I just wanna kill Covenant. Just give me an assault rifle. I'm good.
I agree.
So yeah,
I totally agree. I'm intrigued.
Back to basics.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see more. That's what I want. Yeah. I want to know more, because if this one doesn't grab me, I think I'm done with Halo, and I think I got to walk away from it forever. So. Bit hyperbole there, but we'll see what happens.
Yes. The thing is that with the Halo games, they have done like incremental changes.
Yeah, exactly.
But at the end, they sit with something that they kind of lost the magic that was in the first games with doing all the changes.
Yeah.
So they have to go back.
That's true, man. I'm intrigued. I'm not going to lie. I'm certainly intrigued, and I wouldn't have said that I would have been. I will just mention here as well that Fortnite has already come out for Nintendo Switch and been downloaded 2 million times. I should throw that out there. That has happened.
Throw it out.
Yeah, Battletoads is also coming in 2019. I never played the original Battletoads. I don't care about the original Battletoads.
I don't care either. So. Isn't that like you can call a GameStop and ask if they have Battletoads? Isn't that like a thing you do?
Look, I like that Microsoft are doing this stuff. I think they're appealing to an audience that will appreciate it. Mm-hmm. But I don't need a new Battletoads. No. I just don't. I just know. But yeah. Whatever. Dying Light 2, I actually am intrigued by, because I think the original Dying Light is one of the most underrated games of the last few years. It's really good.
Yes, it is. I was surprised when I played it, especially when it opens up really. at a point.
It's a really good zombie game, yeah.
Yeah, and it's fun, and it's really good co-op, like with a friend or enemy. It's really good.
Yeah.
So more of that. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
It was a nice welcome surprise, that. Also, Bethesda I should have mentioned this earlier, they're also making a mobile game called The Elder Scrolls Blades. It could be all right. I don't know. I'm not really a mobile gamer, so I can't say for months. But
me neither.
It looked okay. Fire Emblem 3 Houses for Switch as well, which has been talked about before, but now is confirmed for release date in spring 2019. Again, Fire Emblem is one of those games that I've always wanted to get round to and never have. But people are telling me that this is going to be amazing. So
okay, I think we should listen to people, because I have nothing.
Well, I think it's quite hard to get into. I think you have to give it time. But apparently it's really good. So I think I'm going to use spring 2019 to pop my Fire Emblem cherry and try and start enjoying it. Also, and this confuses me to a little bit. I'm going to be a bit of a pedant here, but Warner Brothers have backed IO Interactive's Hitman 2, which is coming out this year on November the 13th. Why is it called Hitman 2? And why is it not just new uploads or downloads or whatever for Hitman? I thought that was the whole point. I thought the whole point of Hitman was it's meant to be this living, breathing universe that we can just keep updating.
It was a breathing, living universe till they planned to kill it.
Well, yeah, I didn't sell very well.
Bring in a younger, handsomer Hitman. I guess. I don't know.
Exactly. Very, very strange. But I thought that was the whole point. But what do I know?
And calling it Hitman 2 as well. Warner Brothers, you don't fool me.
Oh dear! I've just realised. Excuse me. I've just realised as well. We haven't talked about the From Software game, which I now can't remember the name of. What was it called?
Is it Sekiro?
That's
Shadows Die Twice?
That's it. Well done. Good knowledge. Now,
wow.
I don't look. I'm not the biggest From Software fan. All right, I don't like Dark Souls. And I don't like Bloodborne. I
don't like Dark Souls? This is completely news to me.
Oh, do you not know about this? Right. So
I know about it.
Oh, right. I thought you were being serious.
No. This is...
I was going to say, I thought I made... But this one... do you like Dark Souls and Bloodborne? Let's start there.
I like Bloodborne.
Yeah.
I do. I like... Well, I like Dark Souls as well. I have to say that. Yeah. So, I like them.
So tell me about this game then, because I only know... Well, I don't know a lot, to be honest. It certainly sounds like it's carrying on in the same vein as those two games, which is fine. I mean, they're saying it's entirely new and separate, and that's cool.
Yeah.
But it does look like... I don't think it's going to be a million miles away from what they do.
No, it's going to be a third-person hard light RPG. I never thought of like Dark Souls to be an RPG.
Yeah.
Bloodborne either. It's not really.
Yeah.
But it's I read on Twitter there was, because some people have been on this closed, seen a demo thing.
Yeah.
And it's like the ground the base is more or less the same. You have HP, but you don't have a stamina bar now. So they changed things around a bit.
Okay.
So it seems like this is something completely different. There's no armor, there's no like huge customization like that. I don't think there is a progress system. So you basically have this, you're you, and it's, you just have to get good, as they say. Yeah. And
that's great. Do you think this is going to be more accessible, or dare I say easier than the other ones?
Well, a lot of people say that, like, Dark Souls and Bloodborne, they're so difficult. And I think that's kind of unfair, because they aren't really difficult games. They're just very unusual to what we usually play. Like they demand something else of you. But I think it will be similar in difficulty, if we use that word, I guess. Yeah. Like I'm not like this, if you say something bad about Dark Souls on the internet, people come to your house and burn it down.
Oh, that's why I do it. That's why I do it,
yeah. So, I like them, but I'm not like fanatically obsessed.
Yeah. So,
I think this will be more, something a little bit other than Dark Souls. Hopefully, I think so. I think so. Yeah, we don't need more. Everyone was hoping for a Bloodborne 2. I don't think we really need that.
No, I agree.
Bloodborne was a great game as itself. They managed to pack it in, and this is the game. Done.
Are you surprised that it's being published by Activision?
Yes.
Because that's a weird combo, right?
That was like, what? That was really weird. That's like, wow, what are you doing From Software? Sleeping with the enemy? Well, maybe?
Hey, man, no. I bet they paid them a lot of money. Money always talks.
Yes, and with Activision, they have a lot of money. So, they pay.
I'd be intrigued. I mean, that's all the sort of big games that I think we need to talk about. I don't necessarily think anybody won E3. I know that's like a conversation that people like to have, but I enjoyed Sony focusing on sort of less games and making sure they bigged up the ones they felt they were important. I think Microsoft came out swinging. They were like, look at all this stuff, and obviously Microsoft also bought up a load of developers as well, which you would have to assume is part of their plan for the next generation. And Nintendo do what they always do. They just talked about Nintendo games that everybody loves. I mean, Smash Brothers Ultimate is basically like an upgrade of the Wii U version in the same way that Mario Kart 8 was, but people love that stuff.
Yeah,
so,
they do.
I don't see how you get mad about that.
I like that we haven't talked about EA.
Well, no, because they didn't really. What did EA even have?
It was a little bit Battlefield 5 stuff.
Well, that's it, isn't it? And I don't. It's not into the Battlefield games. The Battlefield games are not my jam. They just never have been. I think it looks good, and I think people are going to enjoy it. But it's. I don't know. I'm more intrigued about Call of Duty this year. I think because actually saying that's a lie. Because what I'm most intrigued about is which one of the two can do well with the Battle Royale game mode they both announced. Because I think that we haven't seen the Battle Royale game mode been made by a AAA publisher yet, or a AAA developer. We haven't seen that, and now EA are throwing their money behind it. Activision are throwing their money behind it.
Yeah,
it could be really good.
Could be really good. Yeah, sure, go for it. I'm sick and tired of the whole battle royale genre. So yeah,
that's fair. That's fair, man. There's a lot of them. I
don't understand the intrigue, to be honest.
Well, I've played Fortnite. I don't get it. But I think there is something within that, hence the popularity. And I think a AAA dev going after it is either going to be brilliant or it's going to be absolutely atrocious. I just don't know which one it's going to be yet. We'll have to wait and see. We should mention as well that Respawn's Star Wars game got a name. It's called Jedi Fallen Order. That's all I've got. It's just it takes place between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. The Jedi are being hunted. They better hope it's good because they botched Battlefront 2.
Yes, I think this is the last chance they have.
Yeah, make or break.
This is make or break.
Absolutely. And we've got Yarn 2 as well. Sorry, Unravel 2.
Yeah.
Unravel 2. All right. Yeah, okay.
All right.
Sea of Solitude was that indie game they announced. That looked okay. Mm-hmm. Command & Conquer Rivals. And then it was Anthem. And that was it. That was EA's kind of... I got FIFA as well, but it doesn't count.
Who cares about that?
I like FIFA, but it's FIFA. Whatever. I don't give a shit. But that was it. And you're right. For a big publisher, they didn't really come out with... guns are blazing, I guess, is the only way I can think to say. It was all right. But there was nothing there that I thought. I think it's kind of the same with Ubisoft as well. Like you had Just Dance and Beyond Good and Evil 2. These are good games, and obviously the new Trials look good. I thought the new Trials look really good.
The thing is, for like EA, they base it on very familiar things. Like they base it on this presentation, Battlefield 5, FIFA, and like NBA and all that stuff, and Star Wars. That's going to be like our basis.
Yeah.
But they don't go out. They don't go out of their comfort zone. It's really, really. They play it so safe, really safe.
I think they have to I think it was after all the backlash end of last year, right, with the loot boxes. Yes. I think they didn't want to. They didn't want to upset anybody, so they didn't. No.
So,
but I should mention that Trials Rising looks amazing. I love those Trials games.
Yeah, Trials are always fun.
I mean, they make me want to kill myself, but they're so good. They're so good.
And they try to be a bit funny at the presentation, bringing like the fin and everything. But it was fun. It was good fun.
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah, it was all right for E3. Right. So it was all right.
The fact that it's coming out on Switch as well, I think that's one of those games I'd love to play on my Switch. I think that would just be awesome.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Right, Sondre, is there other games you think we should have talked about or you want to talk about? I think we kind of smashed them all, to be honest.
Yeah, I think we've done a really. I have a list here, but we have done a really good job.
We have.
I think, yeah.
We have. And I will point out that, I mean, I don't know whether anyone listens to this. During this podcast, somebody tried to hack my Epic Games account. So whoever that was, you can kiss my ass. I caught you straight away, and I've changed my password. So stop doing that.
Yes, stop doing that.
Stop doing that. But it literally happened. I got it. I was like, oh my gosh. So I had to fix that. But overall, I thought it was a really good E3. I think there's a lot to be excited about.
Yeah.
Like I said, I want new gaming experiences, and I know there's loads, but I hope that becomes the focus going forward because they're the kind of stuff that excites me now. But yeah, look, it was an awesome E3. Loads of stuff announced. I'd imagine E3 2019 is going to be the one where we focus on. New consoles, so this was a great way to wrap up some games, and then in a year's time we can see where the industry's going next.
Yeah, I really can't wait. I mean, I'm positive now. I'm usually a cynical bastard, but
you haven't sounded cynical at all, my friend.
No, I know. I've done my best. no, but it's a lot of cool stuff, and it's a lot of new stuff that looks really interesting, that looks fresh, and. Yeah, like Death Stranding, who knows?
Well, who knows? And before we do wrap this up, Sondre, I've always got to ask, what is your favourite game of all time? I think it gives a wonderful insight. Well, one of. You don't have to say it's your favourite.
Okay. For me, it's the first Deus Ex game.
Wow, dude, I like it. I like it. Why so?
Because it's just a great game. It has wonderful music. The story is full of intrigue and mystery, and it has everything. It's clunky though, but that's just because it's old. But it's wonderful.
Do you like do you like the new ones, the Human Revolution and everything like that?
Well, they're fine.
that kind of makes me think that you don't like them very much.
No, I don't really like them that much.
Why not? What do you think happened?
When the new one came, I expected this big, world-spanning story with like all these twists and turns and like this, you're this spy maybe, because you are that in the first one. You feel like a spy. You feel like this that you're in this world. But in that game, like, you're a glorified security guard. Like, what's that? It's like, come on.
So do you think they kind of lost what they were about originally?
Yeah, and I think they went too far with like focusing on like man versus like the augmented and all this this underlying racism thing.
Yeah.
But in the first game, that is like, yes, you are augmented, and that's part of the world, but the world has the same problems as we have. So it's much more like you can connect with that. It's still poverty. There's still ordinary racism. There's still all those things. So it made it more, I don't know, more believable maybe.
Oh, yeah, I like it. I wasn't expecting you to say that, so I'm pleased. I like that. I like new choices. So yeah, awesome, dude. Well, look, I want to thank you very much for coming on. This has been really good.
No problem.
I love it. We've got through all of E3, which is always fun as well. Yes. Where can people find you on social media if you want them to find you on social media?
Yeah. They can find me. I'm on Twitter. I have to check my handle because this is gonna be hard for you, Simon, to pronounce. But
you do it.
It's at Frisvold /1988. There you can find me. I generally just moan. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. So that is Frisvold _1988. See, I can do it. I can do this. I can smash this.
Oh, my God. That was amazing.
So make sure you go follow him there and have a chat with him about that. I'm at SimonMiller316 on Instagram, Twitter. You can also watch you can watch these podcasts at youtube.com/The Miller Report Rules. There is no Facebook group. Maybe one day I'll make one, but I just don't for it. I don't know why. And again, if you'd like to support these podcasts or even come on the podcast, visit patreon.com/SimonMiller316 and all the information is up there. Sondre, that was an awesome chat. Thank you very much for your time, man, and for your support. I really appreciate it.
No problem. This was fun.
It was fun. We should definitely do it again.
Yeah, we are way too agreeable.
Well, we were. But that's nice. It's nice. No one ever does that on podcasts, so it's good. The Week in Gaming will return on Monday, and we've got some other stuff in the pipeline as well, which I will be able to reveal to you soon. But thank you very much for listening. If you are on iTunes, give us 5 stars, give us a review, and like I say, we'll be back next week.